Welcome to the Grewalz Show. Today in our studio we have Paul Vicente, Regional Councillors, Ward 1 and 5, City of Brampton, who will be with us for the whole show. And Mr. Vicente will be telling us what's going on in Brampton. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you for having me here, Mr. Grewal. It's a pleasure to be here on your program and to have the opportunity to speak with the residents of the City of Brampton.
Paul, first of all, we want to know where's Wards 1 and 5 geographically in Brampton itself?
Well, thank you, Gritter, for making the first question an easy one.
Yes.
Wards 1 and 5 is essentially downtown Brampton, the north side. So
Okay.
Wards 1 and 5 begins along Queen Street
Okay.
and goes all the way north to Beauvais Drive. And on the east side, it begins at the 410 and goes all the way west to Mississauga Road.
Oh.
So it's essentially downtown Brampton, the upper half.
Plus a huge area.
It is a huge area. We have over 100,000 plus residents that live in the area. And you got a little bit of everybody living in Wards 1 and 5. You have people from practically every nation on earth speaking every possible language. We have young, old, great people, just like the rest of Brampton, to
Yes.
be quite honest with you. I've lived in Brampton for most of my life now. I moved here in 1984 and have lived in that area basically most of my time here.
Great. So now, when you said you're downtown Brampton,
Yes.
so let's come back to downtown Brampton itself. As we understand, in the last elections, LRT was a big issue.
Yes.
So what's happening with LRT? It's been a while that you have been in an office.
Yeah, so when we had our very first meeting of council in December of 2018, one of the very first motions that was tabled by Councillor Dillon was a motion to capture all of the priorities that the city has for transit. We believe that the City of Brampton benefits from transit, and we need to continue to make investments in transit. And as part of that vision, we put forward what we call a network plan,
Okay.
which is a plan that builds the transit system in the city over the next number of years at every facet. So one of the priorities that we have is to ensure that we continue to expand Zoom bus service all across the city. The other is to prioritize the Queen Street corridor bus rapid transit routes. This is a bus on protected lanes so that they can travel efficiently east and west across the city. We have been discussing for many years in the City of Brampton the importance of getting the province to come to the table and actually build what we call all-day, two-way go train service. As we know, a large number of people who live in Brampton work in the Toronto area, and we wanted to be as convenient as possible for them to be able to get to work and also to come back home. And so we see that all-day two-way service as being very critical. The federal government has identified the GO train corridor as the innovation corridor. It links Kitchener-Waterloo with Toronto. Toronto is the center of finance. Kitchener-Waterloo is the center of training and technology. And the City of Brampton is poised precisely at the center
In the middle.
of those 2 points, at the middle precisely.
So there is no choice. The trains have to stop in Brampton.
That's right. You got to go through Brampton. You've heard the expression, all roads lead to Brampton, and also the train comes through here. And so as GO train service, which is essentially for people, we see all-day two-way go as an important point to speak to the provincial government to make sure that they are working to find a way to get that service up to that level. Finally, and this has been a more difficult file for the City of Brampton for many years, is the idea of regional connections to our neighbors to the south. In 2010 began a process to look at building an LRT system along the Huron-Ontario Main Street Highway 10 corridor.
That's right.
And it came to a head in 2015 with a decision that, I'll be quite honest with you, did not agree with, and that was that the City of Brampton was opposed to the idea of having an LRT travel up Highway 10 and connecting to our transit terminal where the GO station basically is, which is in downtown Brampton. I was a proponent for that line to be built, but the council of the day decided to stop it at Steeles Avenue.
So, but now, as we all know, there's new council, new mayor.
That's right.
Are we going to see LRT in the next couple of years?
Yes. So what we did on that day in December of 2018, we put forward a motion which passed unanimously that the LRT, when it gets built, will be built on Main Street and will connect to the GO station. Now, there is two viewpoints in that connection. I always proposed that the surface route was the right choice, but there are some voices on council who believe very strongly that it should be an underground route.
Oh, okay.
And so at the time when we passed this motion unanimously, council endorsed Main Street as the corridor for LRT to be built, and we are currently looking at two options: an option to build it on the surface, as well as an option to do the line underground through a tunnel option. That is correct. And so currently staff are undergoing the necessary environmental assessments so that all of the information is available so that council can make a decision. But in the meantime, council has been working very hard, whether it's the mayor or members of council, at every opportunity that we have where we are meeting provincial and federal officials to let them know that we are looking for funding for their support to endorse one of these options. And we are making some headway. Both the provincial government and the federal government of Canada are aware that this is a priority ask for the City of Brampton, among other priorities. And we are looking for them to partner with us to give Brampton its share of infrastructure dollars meant for transit uses. And so we are looking for, it's a big ask, but we believe that the City of Brampton, its time has come, and we need to have these investments made.
And as you would know, that City of Hamilton was just told no by the provincial government for the funding. You think that can also happen to City of Brampton?
Well, the province funded the Highway 10 LRT. And so what remains, that little portion north of Steeles that finishes the connection to the GO station, it should be finished. So it's just a question of when, not if.
Oh, okay. So that's very good news.
We have to finish that line because connecting Brampton and our residents to the rest of the region is a critical component of our economic development story, because we want to continue to attract jobs. We want to make it easier for people to get to and from their places of work. We have big issues in the city. All cities have issues with gridlock.
Yes.
And the only way that we're going to resolve the gridlock problem is by making it possible for people to get to and fro without the need to use their cars.
So that's very good news. Another thing which our viewers always have this question, the City of Brampton does all these trade missions all the time. Not just in this council, even before, previously.
Yes.
And I'm sure you might have gone on maybe a few of those trade missions.
Yes, I've been on one, yes.
So what we want to hear from you is, when you go on those trade missions, you personally or the city goes on those trade missions, has it brought anything back to the City of Brampton?
So this council has made a firm statement in that we want to attract investment to the City of Brampton. We know, this is an undisputed number, that 60% of all residents that live in Brampton have to leave Brampton every single day to go work somewhere else.
Make a living.
To make a living. I have said in the past that historically, our greatest export has been people. Some people like to use the term bedroom community.
That's correct.
And this is not the way that a city should be. It is far more appropriate for a majority of residents to be working within the city where they live. That's why years ago, when the city endorsed the 2040 vision, one of the bold proclamations that they made in that 2040 vision was to completely turn around that number. Instead of 60% of people having to leave the city to go to work, we want to see 60% of people who live in Brampton working in Brampton. And that's a big, big change from the past.
So we have to go to a quick break. And when we come back on the Grewalz Show, you will hear from Mr. Vicente as to what kind of benefits City of Brampton has got from any of those trade missions which have happened previously. Going forward, we'll also hear as to what's going on in Brampton. We'll be back after this break.
ਕਟਾਰੀਆ ਟੂਰਸ ਐਂਡ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਉਹ ਨਾਮ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਸਤੀਆਂ ਹਵਾਈ ਟਿਕਟਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਦੀ ਸੈਰ ਕਰਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਭਾਰਤ ਪਾਕ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਯੂਰਪ ਕੰਟਰੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਟੂਰ ਐਂਡ ਪੈਕੇजेस ਇੱਥੋਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਇੰਡੀਆ, ਯੂਕੇ, ਯੂਐਸਏ, ਦੁਬਈ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ ਲਈ ਵੀਜ਼ਾ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਅਤੇ ਪੀਆਰ ਕਾਰਡ ਐਂਡ ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਦਾਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਸੁਪਰ ਵੀਜ਼ਾ ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਡੀਲਸ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ ਹਨ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਲੈਣ ਲਈ ਪਹੁੰਚੋ डेरी एंड एयरपोर्ट रोड इंटरसेक्शन 2883 डेरी रोड ईस्ट मिसिसागा या कॉल करो 905 678 1200 905 678 1200।
कनाडा विच बल्ले बल्ले सब सामान को छत थल्ले पर गड्डियां लोग ला चले पर गड्डियां लोग ला चले एशियन फूड सेंटर दी बल्ले 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 बल्ले
AFC कट रेट ते क्वालिटी ग्रेट एशियन फूड सेंटर कॉल करो 416 740 3262
बल्ले 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 बल्ले
एशियन फूड सेंटर।
क्या हुआ? मेरे जॉब चला गया। My boyfriend left me and my health is also not good.
Don't worry. मैं एक डॉक्टर को जानती हूँ. He will solve all your problems.
Huh?
Let's go.
If you have a problem, you should call Dr. Kumar, the astrologer, at 416-425-0138.
Botanic Planet, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਨੇ ਹਜ਼ਾਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਦੇਸੀ ਜੜੀ ਬੂਟੀਆਂ, 400 ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਐਸੈਂਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਆਇਲਸ, ਸਕਿਨ ਕੇਅਰ, ਬਾਡੀ ਕੇਅਰ ਤੇ ਹੇਅਰ ਕੇਅਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਮੇਡ 100% ਹਰਬਲ ਕਰੀਮਸ ਐਂਡ ਲੋਸ਼ਨਸ ਤੇ 100 ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਕੈਰੀਅਰ ਆਇਲ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਲਈ ਇੱਕ ਭਰੋਸੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਨਾਂ ICC ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ PR ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ, ਵਰਕ ਪਰਮਿਟ, ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਵੀਜ਼ਾ, ਵਿਜ਼ਟਰ ਵੀਜ਼ਾ, PNP, पेरेंटल इमीग्रेशन, एक्सप्रैस एंट्री ते स्पाउसल वीजा आदि सारियां सेवावां दित्तियां जांदियां ने। सलाह मशवरे लई फोन करो 905 461 2424 905 461 2424 ICC इमीग्रेशन।
काव्या होम्यो केयर, काफी इलाज जहां बेअसर हो जाते हैं वहां से शुरू होता है होम्योपैथी का असर। बच्चों से लेकर बुजुर्गों तक, नए से लेकर कई पुरानी बीमारियों तक, जैसे एलर्जीज, एस्मा, आर्थराइटिस, हेयर लॉस, स्किन डिसऑर्डर्स, माइग्रेन्स, मेल या फीमेल हेल्थ इश्यूज, डाइजेस्टिव डिसऑर्डर्स या पाइल्स, मेंटल हेल्थ इश्यूज, हार्ट प्रॉब्लम, डायबिटीज और फॉर एनी काइंड ऑफ एक्यूट और क्रॉनिक डिजीजेस हमारे होम्योपैथ से मिले, जिनको 20 साल का लंबा तजुर्बा है। काव्या होम्यो केयर, जहां से शुरू होता है हेल्दी लाइफ का सफर। 6477602779 काव्या होम्यो केयर।
ਆਟੋ, ਹੋਮ ਤੇ ਕਮਰਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਲੈਣ ਲਈ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ ਬਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਗਿੱਲ। ਬਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਗਿੱਲ ਲੰਮੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਤੋਂ ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਇਹ ਫਲੀਟ ਡਿਸੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਮਹਾਰਤ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਨੇ। ਇਸ ਲਈ ਇੰਸ਼ੋਰੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਰੇਟ ਲੈਣ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਤੋਂ ਕਦੇ ਨਾ ਵਰਤੋ ਢਿੱਲ। ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ ਬਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਗਿੱਲ 416 520 6264 416 520 6264 ਬਲਵਿੰਦਰ ਗਿੱਲ।
ਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਰੱਬ ਦੇ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਮਾਂ ਮਾਰਿਆ, ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੀਏ ਸਿਰੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੜਦਾ।
ਨਾ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ?
ਨਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਕੀ ਆ, 10 ਦਿਨ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਭੱਜੇ ਫਿਰਦੇ ਆ, ਮਾਰਗੇਜ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ, ਸਮਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਬਾਬੇ ਕੋਲ ਜਾਈਏ।
ਓਏ ਬਾਬਿਆਂ ਕੋਲ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਹੋਣਾ ਸੀ ਪਰਮਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਮੰਗਟ ਕੋਲ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਾਰਗੇਜ ਦਾ ਪੀਰ ਪਰਮਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਮੰਗਟ ਆਲਾ ਕਰਵਾ ਲਿਆਂਦੀ ਆ।
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟੈਨਸ਼ਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਗੈਰ ਜਲਦੀ ਮਾਰਟਗੇਜ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਪਰਮਿੰਦਰ ਮੰਗਟ ਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਹੈ 16 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤਜਰਬਾ। ਆਪਣੀ ਮਾਰਟਗੇਜ ਦੀ ਟੀਮ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੈਂਕਸ ਤੋਂ ਡੀਲ ਕਰਵਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਸੈਲਫ ਇੰਪਲੋਇਡ ਲਈ ਖਾਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਨੇ। ਪਰਮਿੰਦਰ ਮੰਗਟ।
ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਪ੍ਰੇਮੀਆਂ ਲਈ ਢਿੱਲੋਂ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਬੈਸਟ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਵਾਲਾ, ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ 20 ਘੰਟੇ ਦੀ ਬੈਟਰੀ, 175 ਘੰਟੇ ਦੀ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਸੰਪੂਰਨ ਪਾਠ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ, ਨਿਤਨੇਮ, ਕਥਾ, ਢਾਡੀ ਵਾਰਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਸਿੱਧ ਰਾਗੀ ਜਥਿਆਂ ਦੇ 300 ਸ਼ਬਦ। ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਬੈਸਟ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ, ਇੰਡੀਆ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਬੈਸਟ ਗਿਫਟ। ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਢਿੱਲੋਂ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਤੋਂ ਖਰੀਦੋ, ਇਬੈਨਜ਼ਰ ਅਤੇ ਗੋਰ ਰੋਡ ਵਾਲੇ ਪਲਾਜ਼ਾ ਵਿੱਚ, ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ IPTV ਦੀ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਪਿਛਲੇ 38 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਵਿੱਚ। ਫੋਨ 905 204 1313। ਢਿੱਲੋਂ ਵੀਡੀਓ।
ਵੇ ਭੋਲੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਆ?
ਓਏ ਆ ਦੇ ਟਰੱਕ ਥੱਲੇ।
ਘਰੇ ਜਨਾਨੀ ਤੋਂ ਡਰਦਾ ਬੈੱਡ ਥੱਲੇ ਤੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਟਰੱਕ ਥੱਲੇ।
ਓਏ ਹਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਟਰੱਕ ਦੇ ਕਈ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਾਉਣੇ ਆ, ਮੇਰਾ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਵੀਕ ਜਾੜ ਜੀ ਲੰਘ ਜਾਣਾ।
ਇਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਮੱਸਿਆਵਾਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਹੱਲ, ਪਾਪੂਲਰ ਟਾਇਰ ਤੇ ਚੱਲ।
Popular Tire, truck tire service, annual inspection, alignment and oil change. 3 locations to serve you: Mississauga, Etobicoke, Hamilton.
ਓਏ ਉੱਚੀਆਂ ਨੀਵੀਆਂ ਸੜਕਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਾਵੇ ਮੇਲ ਦਾ ਟਾਇਰ ਪਵਾ ਕੇ ਵੇਖ ਪਾਪੂਲਰ ਟਾਇਰ ਦਾ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਲੱਗਾ।
ਆਪਣੇ ਸਮਾਗਮ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੈਂਕੁਏਟ ਹਾਲ ਦੀ ਭਾਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰ ਬੈਂਕੁਏਟ ਹਾਲ ਦੀਆਂ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਨੇ। ਸੌ ਤੋਂ 800 ਮਹਿਮਾਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਲਈ ਸ਼ਾਨਦਾਰ ਇੰਤਜ਼ਾਮ। ਬੁਕਿੰਗ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣ ਲਈ ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਇੰਦਰਜੀਤ ਭਿੰਡਰ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ 905 790 3607। ਹੁਣ ਕਾਹਦਾ ਹੈ ਇੰਤਜ਼ਾਰ? ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰ 905 790 3607।
Welcome back, Grewalz Show ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ। Today we have our guest, Paul Vicente, Regional Councillors, Ward 1 and 5, City of Brampton, and we're discussing as to what's going on in Brampton. So as we were discussing, Paul, these trade missions, from your experience, what has City of Brampton gained from these?
Yeah, so when we made this determination that we want to reverse this trend that the majority of people leave the city every day to go to work, we had to make a declaration that we want to attract more foreign investment. And so foreign investment is an opportunity for us to look for, find, and attract businesses that are looking to establish a footprint in North America, to consider Brampton as the ideal choice. Here in the city of Brampton, we have people that speak every language from across the world.
Yes.
We have people who have cultural ties to businesses, whether it's in India or Germany or Asia, wherever you want. And so it is our responsibility as promoters of the city of Brampton to tell the story that the city of Brampton has the people, it has the land, and if you move to the city of Brampton to establish your business, you are within easy reach not only of the majority of Canadians that live in this country, but you're also within easy access to all of the major business centers in the United States. And so, in the United States, it's been a tough story lately for investment from other countries.
Yes,
and so that gives us a special opportunity to attract business investment here. So with this declaration, the city of Brampton has gone on several trade missions. We did a trade mission to the Anuga Food Fair that took place in Germany. Myself and Councillor Martin Medeiros, We visited the Web Summits conference that takes place every year in the city of Lisbon, and other members of council either have been or are planned to go to different opportunities that, as they present themselves, it makes sense for us to be there to give the value proposition to a business that is looking for expansion, that the city of Brampton is the place to do work. And this is a process that takes time. It's a process that begins with the first step where we are essentially informing people. I can tell you from my experience on the trade mission that we had in Lisbon, we attended Web Summit and we also sponsored an event there that was attended by over 350 different venture capitalists and businesses that are looking to fund and invest in tech companies. They were asking us, what is this place, Brampton? Where is that?
Where is it?
Where can I find more information? And you know, there was a bit of an excitement there because they hadn't heard of Brampton before.
Yes, yes.
And you know, they know about, you know, Los Angeles and Cincinnati and New York, and they know about Toronto and Montreal and maybe Vancouver. And so if you want Brampton to have equal footing, you have to begin to sell Brampton like a big city. And so that's the work that we are undertaking at the City of Brampton. And we believe that this is something that, as I said before, will take time to see fruition. But, you know, we already had inquiries. Staff have been taking calls from different companies who either were exposed to our material or companies that we reached out to on these visits, because we had more than 25 different meetings with different companies who came pre-qualified as potentially looking to make a move to Canada. And so we are following up on those conversations to make sure that they continue to hear from us. And as they go through their journey and they're looking for a place, that Brampton is top of mind.
So hopefully something will come up.
Absolutely. And like I said, this is a process that takes time. And you could hit a jackpot and speak to one company that immediately wants to do a move of this kind. But more often than not, it is something that you're creating a brand. Brampton is a place for doing business. It is a place where the people that are there, they're young, they're educated, they're highly skilled. And if you're looking to expand your business, why would you do it anywhere else?
Now, as far as the jobs coming to Brampton,
yes.
So what we
one
just
piece.
spoke is the overseas part.
That's correct.
Now, I want to talk about the jobs coming to Brampton. As you said that it's like a bedroom community. That's what people say.
It has been.
Yes, and so what has City of Brampton done lately to get new jobs into Brampton itself?
So one of the opportunities that every city has is to build upon those companies that you already have.
Okay.
So businesses in Brampton always are looking to expand. And so one of the things that our Economic Development Office does is it continuously makes visits and does house calls to local businesses in the area. I just came to this studio to do this interview with you, but I came from a wonderful tour of a meat processing plant that is located not too far from here. And they are looking to, they just signed a major contract with another food service provider, and they need to add another 100,000 square feet. That's more jobs for Brampton, more jobs for people to be able to have the opportunity to live, work, and play here in the city. And so we have been asked to assist them in site selection and where they may be able to find a location so that they can shuffle some of their operations and then provide for that, what we were told is a more than $22 million investment in their processing capacity.
That's good news for the viewers.
It's one small example. And you know, you'll see other small victories along the way where you hear companies that are building and expanding their operations here in the city of Brampton. And so this is a process that has been ongoing since we started. And the mayor, Patrick Brown, myself, and other members of council, When a company calls us and asks for support, wants to see us visit their operations, we jump at the opportunity to be able to help them.
That's like a sales call.
It's a support call because, you know, big business and business in general, they just need that little support sometimes from the city. Can you help us find a piece of land? Or can you assist us with our application to expand our facility? Or, you know, perhaps we're having issues with power. How can we have the power service here to our facility enhanced or improved? And so we are always ready to support local businesses to build more jobs and keep the jobs that we already have here in the city.
Now, as we all know from the last several years, Bramptonians have always been saying that Brampton keeps on building homes.
Yeah.
As we all understand, close to Mayfield and Kennedy, there's another subdivision which has been approved by the city.
Yes.
What can you tell us about that?
Well, if you look at my history of engagement ever since I ran for office and even from years before, it has always been my belief that the city of Brampton has been a city that has sprawled out and has grown, shall we say, horizontally. Do you know that, you know, for every subdivision that we add to the city of Brampton, in other words, when we expand outwards, it increases the costs for everybody in the city. And so it is my belief that we should be beginning to build up. And that doesn't mean that we're going to be putting condos everywhere, but I think we need to densify. When we talk about the costs of running a city, the more dense the city is, the more you can contain those costs and the more that you can manage the financials of the city. So the plan that you bring up here that took place is now going to happen at Mayfield and Kennedy is an infill project because you had subdivisions to the west of it, to the south, and to the east, and you had one parcel sitting all empty and lonely in the middle. And so a development organization put in an application, as they are able to do under the Planning Act, and they proposed the construction of several hundred homes, not just large homes, but also some townhomes and smaller executive style residences. And this plan went through several iterations where the local residents were canvassed for their opinion and their view. And the builder, as from what we could see, made many changes to adapt the plan to meet the requirements of local residents, but also to ensure that the plan meets some of our requirements that you need to have affordable and well-priced units so that young people and other folks can enter the market. We also believe that because we are continuing to build our transit connections in the city, particularly along Mayfield and on Kennedy Road, that this development should provide the people to feed into our transit system. Because if you build neighborhoods that are just centered around the car, why are you spending the money to provide the transit if you know that people aren't going to use it?
That's all true, but the area residents are saying that they did not want any more houses in that given area.
Well, I think when the residents came to the meeting, and it was there were almost 350 people who attended that meeting, they were opposed to the townhouses, and they were opposed to the idea that there was some safety issue with respect to this plan. When we asked staff, were all the safety requirements adhered to, they said, of course, that they were. And in fact, when you look at the neighboring subdivisions, some of them with no sidewalks, and this proposed subdivision, there was a sidewalk on every single road.
Oh, okay.
Right? And the townhomes, these are more affordable. Not everyone can afford a $1 or $2 million house.
That's correct.
All right? And some of the houses around this subdivision are in that category. And so we believe that if we want to have better communities, that if you want to have communities that serve the needs of residents, some of the units need to be sized for the more entry market buyers. And we also, as I said before, believe that densifying the city is a necessary thing. And this was not, in my opinion, a sprawl. This was an infill project.
In between.
And wherever we have an opportunity to do infill development, I think that that's a good idea because the services are already there, which you and I and everyone else already paid for.
The transit is there.
The transit is there, and it's going to be enhanced.
That's correct.
Right? And you have the schools and all of those items which are there. And so the plan was a good plan. It enhanced the parks in the area. It provided for pedestrian flow on every single street. And, you know, to be quite honest with you, it made no sense. It made no sense whatsoever to say no to that plan, especially as we consider looking to expand to unbuilt areas of the city.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right? We should be doing these infill projects as well.
Well, our show is coming to an end. Any message for our viewers, Paul?
I would just say, Mr. Grewal, that for both myself and for my co-representative, Councillor Santos, who represent the wards 1 and 5, we want you to know that we always are listening and we're always looking for your input on all the decisions that we make. And so you're able to reach us. We're both easy to find. You can find us on the city website, and you can find us on social media, on Facebook and on Twitter. And you can always call us if you have any questions, and we are always ready to help. And with every meeting that we hold at the City of Brampton, we are advancing the priorities of the residents to build a better city for all of us to live in. So thank you, Mr. Grewal, for this opportunity to be with you here today.
Well, thank you for your time, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Grewalz Show. ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਦੱਸਿਆ, ਮਿਸਟਰ Paul Vicente, ਰੀਜਨਲ ਕਾਉਂਸਲਰਸ ਵਾਰਡ 1 and 5 ਸਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਬ੍ਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਤੋਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਅਗਲੇ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਂਗੇ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਵਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਵਾਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਲਵਾਂਗੇ। ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਈ ਸਲਾਹ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਦ Grewalz Show ਨੂੰ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।